Hey, y'all. This is Reverend Okonkwo, Walu, Yogi, Dula, Sister Mama, Adia. Today I'm talking to you about respectability politics or politics. So, a few things. I was on Instagram the other day and I don't remember the name of the brother, but he was talking about basically just the farce of respectability politics. And I can only speak to it as an African American woman in the United States. Many of the things that I know I was taught as a child uh, in the way of being a good girl or appearing a certain way are connected to respectability politics. And I know that it was my parents' attempt in keeping me safe and keeping me connected to what they believed would be opportunities for me. And so this brother on Instagram was talking about how he had on a three-piece suit, and he said, "Do you think me having on this three-piece suit will stop me from getting hurt? Will stop me from being killed? That anyone with the mental illness of the illusion of white supremacy would would not hurt me because I have on the right suit and shoes." And I think about our ancestors during the civil rights movement; they were dressed impeccably uh, in many of the places that they went to. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop assault. It did not stop murder. It did not stop maiming. It didn't stop any of those things. And I think about it like if there's a if there's a predator that is determined to wound, harm, prey, it doesn't matter the arrangement of the spots on the prey. It doesn't matter what the stripes look like. It's of no importance. So I think about respectability politics, and I think about a few things. It trains the person, in this case, an African American woman or girl, to believe there's an ingesting of self hate. There's an insertion of self hate when it comes to perception, and believing that if I mimic a European beauty standard, um, whatever is stereotypically considered to be European speech or dress, behavior, whatever it is, that it will keep me safe. And so, somewhere inside of my mind, it makes me think that that is right. That is okay. That is the way that I will be able to survive and make it. And it's multi-layered, y'all. It's lots. It's a big old onion of existence. So I spoke to in the playlist on being a good girl. I spoke to how there are many different things that contribute to that, and societal being one of them. And so when it comes to respectability politics, you've seen it. You've seen it on television before, where there's a particular news host who uh, is rocking a Carlton like hairstyle and um, button up suit, and then after a while relaxes, or on other shows where maybe there's someone who relaxes into different clothing, or on another show where I know I saw a brother go from very, very straight laced and um, packaged in what is supposed to be non threatening and going to rocking his natural hair like big and gorgeous and still being just as polished and intelligent in everything that he was, because we are many things. We are not one thing. And the biggest travesty of respectability politics is it's selling wooden nickels. It um, is the injected oppression is the word that Bob Wekesa and Mama Thea, the phrase that they would use. It is the structural racism around us saying, if you just act like this, if you just do this. you'll be safe. And so give me your creativity, give me your many dimensions, give me your imagination. And in return, I will give you this terrible copy of what what I believe is acceptable. And you can suppress, push down, or sell to me the things that uh, I've told you are not acceptable so that I can then make a terrible copy of what you've been doing and sell it back to you. So it's a terrible exchange. It's an exchange where we do not win. Anyone who has been encouraged, any person who has been encouraged in this system where there's so much racism and sexism built in to the system, that to trade themselves for a terrible excuse of what their manhood, womanhood should look like, while while the person who is seeking to assimilate trades the system that takes then appropriates. It's a very, very weird and efficient. It's been very efficient. So as we look at this week, I want to look at a few things that are not new and have not changed, but just as soon as we pin them down in society and resist them on one space, it's almost like they shapeshift and the same thing is presented with a different name. So I spoke about my daughter in a video and she did this brilliant. So I will actually, I'll put it in the description. She did this brilliant video on the quarter zip trend. And the quarter zip trend, the I know there's jokes in it, and under jokes there's truth. In the jokes, not even under, there's truth. It's why our best comedians are really amazing uh, observers of social constructs and make really amazing social commentary. But she did this amazing, this just profound video on quarter zips, and I think about all the things that are very similar to that, making sure that your hair is permed, making sure that your hair is cut, making sure that um, you don't speak a certain way, making sure that you don't play certain music in your car too loud, choices on where you live, choices on what you read. You know, it's very confining. So I want to, and what's the line from Tribe Called Quest? Um, well, it ends with Q-Tip saying, "I laughed at you from crying." So it's it's not funny, haha. It's funny because it has been such a self perpetuating system that it takes some internal surgery to remove it because it only moves forward when it is self perpetuating. It is introduced like a virus, and then the host holds that illness and makes it look pretty, makes it seem acceptable, and then passes on the illness to their own families. So it's interesting, but we're going to look at that this week. I want to look at in society how respectability politics doesn't just cause self-abandonment, but it will cause group abandonment. It will cause a group to abandon itself. And there's a Baba in our community who some years back asked us what is the first law of existence, and everyone said self-preservation. And he was like, no, the first law is group preservation. Because if I am all alone by myself, my culture dies, my language dies, and then I no longer exist. So, what respectability politics promotes isn't just self abandonment, it's a group abandonment. And it promotes a group annihilation at the hands of the people in the group. So we'll look at that coming up. And when I get really dope, I will be able to edit in some of the things that I'm seeing that I know you're seeing as well. But again, this is Reverend Okonfo, Mama Sister, Malamu Yoki Dula, audience saying, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.